Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op podcast, your go-to source for all things agriculture. Each week, we bring you expert insights, market trends, and real stories from the field. Whether you're a seasoned producer or joining us for the first time, there is something here for you. So, grab a coffee and let's dive into the business of agriculture from the ground up. Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op podcast. Joining us today is Jason Stansbury, producer and Central Prairie Co-op board member, and Christian Heitschmidt, sales agronomist. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. We are so glad to have you with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Let's dive right in.
All right. Jason, why don't you tell us a little bit about your farming operation and how long you have been a member of Central Prairie Co-op?
Yeah, so came to the farm about 25 years ago, and kind of a different story than most. I was not raised on the farm I currently work on or a farm at all. I taught school for 6 years, and when I got married, my wife's family farmed. And so right after we got married, I had the opportunity to come on and help my father-in-law, and been doing it ever since. So quite a transition there from teaching, but as soon as I started helping him, he quickly got me signed up as a co-op member. So I've probably been a member for about 25 years. We farm right north of Frederick, which is kind of on the Ellsworth-Rice County border, and we farm kind of along that K4 corridor for the most part. And we all dry land. We farm no-till operations. We've been doing that for about 23 or 4 years. Wheat, corn, sorghum, soybeans, and then we'd grow some double crop sunflowers and some other cover crop type mixes for grazing and some stuff like that.
Good. What originally brought you to our co-op, and what has kept you coming back over the years?
Yeah, so like I said, I really came to farming with no knowledge really of the co-op system, or I knew what a co-op was. I saw the elevators around, but my father-in-law, once I joined this operation, quickly kind of introduced me to the co-op and explained kind of what he did with the co-op. And so that's how I kind of got joined in here with Sterling, Central Prairie Co-op. And I keep coming back for several reasons. I mean, the main one for me is convenience. We pretty much haul all of our grain to the co-op, and the elevators are very easy to get to and accessible. We don't have to have awesome trucks to make deliveries, and so convenience is great. Agronomy support, I think, is another thing I utilize quite a bit. It's great having Christian a phone call away. You know, Christian, you're a salesman, but what I appreciate is the fact you're also a farmer. And, you know, not only do you farm, but you kind of have a similar mindset to what I have in terms of how to farm and things we can do to improve our farming practices. And oftentimes price. I mean, it's been several times our fertilizer prices have been cheaper than competitors, and grain prices have been right up there as well, competing with the other guys. So those are the main reasons I kind of stay around. So.
Okay. Can you share a time when the co-op really made a difference for your operation?
You know, as I think back, with the co-op being so close, it provides opportunity for them to help out in like tight spots, or like if the weather's coming in, many times you just have to call the elevator and say, hey, can you stay open for another hour so we can finish up before the rain comes, or call, hey, Christian, I need some chemical, you know, I ran out, you got to get this, and chances are you're going to have something on hand, and or if I need anything like that. So it's great having the co-op close, and they've helped out many times.
Yep. What changes have you seen in agriculture over the years, and how has the co-op helped you adapt to those?
Yeah, as far as changes go, there's two that stick out. The first one is the use of technology. From GPS and, you know, using it to steer and plant your crops and fertilize and all that. So technology obviously has been a big change. And the co-op has been able to take some of that technology and allow the farmer to do things like variable rating. You know, you can take soil samples and yield maps and put together a fertilizer recommendation, whatever the farmer wants to do with that. So that's one way the co-op's helped out with that. Also, you know, when I first started farming, everybody was pretty much conventional. Wasn't a whole lot of no-till, so I think we've seen the transition more and more to no-till as people see the benefits of keeping that residue on the ground for soil or moisture retention and just improving the soil. And so that's another big change I think that's happened over the last 10, 15 years. And another thing, that the co-op has done here recently is we were just talking about this at our board retreat, is they've got this leaf analysis so they can give you real-time results on the leaf tissue so you can make decisions a lot quicker. Mm-hmm. So I think the co-op's done a good job of trying to adapt new technologies and making them available so the farmer can use them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. How do sustainability practices show up in your operation, and what ways has the co-op supported these efforts?
Sustainability is kind of a big word in today's culture, and when I think of sustainability, I kind of look at it two different ways. Obviously, we want to be good stewards of the ground. We want to farm in a way that the land is not only sustained, but hopefully improved for the next generation. So that's one way I look at sustainability. And we do that through our cropping systems, and we're starting to integrate grazing to try and improve the biological cycles that happen in nature. So, but in terms of the co-op and how I try to look at the co-op in terms of sustainability is the economic sustainability. And the co-op has done a great job in offering different programs and different methods that the farmer can be economically sustainable. An example of that is grain marketing. I despise grain marketing. It's not something I enjoy. Dalton has done a great job of reaching out to me, and I'm sure he reaches out to other farmers and say, hey, what are you doing next year? And my philosophy is, if you can market your grain profitably before harvest, that's better than trying to get rid of it after harvest. So we try to do a lot of that, and the co-op has made that very easy. Also, there's another thing in terms of sustainability is the co-op has started this CRI program, joined with other members in an effort to reduce cost to the farmer. And I think that will be a big game changer in terms of making the farmer more profitable. So that's a great initiative that the co-op has done. And the other thing recently that's happened is with milo. We all know that the milo markets are suppressed. We have had a hard time making money on milo, but now the co-op's working with the national sorghum growers to offer some incentive for farming a certain way when you grow your milo to get some cash back to help offset some of those expenses. So those are three ways I see the co-op playing a role in sustainability. Another thing I'll add to that is since I've been on the board here for several years, one of the things we talk about a lot is what's the co-op going to look like in the future. And I think we all know that you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and expect to be successful. And so one of the things I've noticed in board meetings and as we talk is Mike and the management team, I think, are aware of that. And they are constantly coming up with new ideas and new ways that we can adapt and change to the ever-changing agriculture environment. And they've done a great job of that. And it gives us a lot as board members to process and think about going forward. So,
yeah, because it always seems like we're changing something when we're going out. There's
Seems
always something we add or take out.
Yep.
Never fails.
Definitely.
If you could give one piece of advice to other growers about getting the most value from the co-op, what would it be?
I think it all starts with just utilizing the co-op. I think a lot of times, especially if you've been away from the co-op, maybe as a farmer, you've been looking for the lowest price for everything, and that's the way you've been going about it. Give the co-op a chance, get to know what's going on. Try some of these new programs, these new strategies that the co-op offers, and allow the co-op to work with you to remain profitable going forward. So.
Thank you so much, both of you. If you have questions about your own farming operation, our sales agronomists would love to visit with you. Give us a call at 620-278-2470. And be sure to tune in next week to the Central Prairie Co-op podcast, where we talk all things ag from the ground up.